What's up, everybody? This is Scott from theLiveToMetal.com, and we're going to be doing part 2 in my favorite live record series. Did part 1 maybe about a month ago in response to a thread to the Vinyl Vault with Dave Rico, and this part 2 is also going to be a response to the Vinyl Vault and Dave. This time because he's having a 5 million subscribers contest. Okay, not really 5 million, 500 subscribers contest, but Dave has been doing... been in the VC for, I don't know, 3-4 months, and 500 subscribers in 4 months. That's pretty darn good, Dave. Congratulations. Anyhow, we're going to get right to it. Some of my favorite live records, and we're going to start off with one of my absolute favorite guitar players, and I'm going to be showing here Ted Nugent and the Amboy Dukes. Survival of the Fittest. 1970 this album was recorded, and this was before, you know, Nugent was a solo artist. Of course, by this point, you know, the Amboy Dukes was obviously second to the name Ted Nugent, so he was already becoming the alpha male, as it was anyhow. This live album contains mostly new material. I think there's only Prodigal Son, I think, was the only song on here that was released on the studio album, as far as I remember. And yeah, great album, lots of jams, almost like a space rock kind of thing. Very, very jammy, very 60s sounding, even though it was released in 1970. Love this record. So I have it on the CD and vinyl. Actually, I have a few copies on vinyl, and you saw that copy was autographed. But here's the CD. Always wanted to get a CD copy of this, and it's funny because it was never released officially on CD. And then it finally was released a few years ago. And what I found amusing was when I opened it up and read the liner notes inside the case. The liner notes were written by me, yours truly. That's right, taken directly off my website, off NoLifeToMetal.com, and posted right in the middle of this booklet, which is kind of cool. At the same token, they could have at least fixed a couple of typos that I had in there. Copied and pasted, man. They didn't even proofread it. So yeah, kind of cool to have my liner notes inside of a Ted Nugent record, especially one of my favorites. But yeah, a little bit of a bummer that they didn't bother, you know, checking it out. So whatever. Next one in the series, Ted Nugent, Intensities. No song on here was previously recorded by Ted. This is all new songs that were released at one time. So it was a live record, but it's all new material recorded across the city, across the states, and obviously 10 different cities. So Intensities in 10 cities. There you go. This one was in 1981, I believe. And there's old Sweaty Teddy in action. I'm getting a lot of glare tonight. Sorry. Yeah, but a lot of people don't really care for this record. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a Nugent fanatic, but I really like it. It's just got that. It's almost got like a Chuck Berry on steroids feel to it, and just, you know, tons of heavy groove, great guitar playing. I just really like this record. So very simple, straightforward, sing-along stuff too. It's not like Double Live Gonzo with a lot of jamming, you know, or even you know, Survival of the Fittest that I showed earlier. Next one up is another by Nugent. I don't have this one on vinyl. I don't know if it was ever released on vinyl. Ted Nugent, Full Bluntal Nudity. And this one was 2001. And actually, this is probably one of my favorite, above almost all any others, except for maybe Double Live Gonzo Nugent release. This is just great. I mean, the track listing is fantastic. So you got Cluster, Funky, or I just won't say the other word. Paralyzed, Snakeskin Cowboy, Wang Dang Sweet Poontang, Free For All, Yank Me Crank Me, Hey Baby, I mean, Stranglehold, Cat Scratch Fever, Great White Buffalo. But this is just a fantastic set list. Nugent's on fire. He sounds great. And this actually comes in a little poster kind of thing with a... There you go. Yeah, so, and the other thing is the sound quality on this thing is just awesome. It's all live. From what I've read, no overdubs to fix the rubs, or, you know, it's just pure live, raw Ted Nugent. So, there you go. 3 favorite live albums from Nugent, and I showed Double Live Gonzo my first one. So anyhow, we'll move on from there to Blackfoot, Highway Song Live. This was released 1981, I believe, and or is it 82? It was recorded in 82, so it was released in 82. This album was recorded in the UK, and unfortunately, this album was only released in the UK for whatever reason. This American band was not released in the US. This live album, anyhow. But this is just supercharged, hard rocking, southern rock. I mean, it's like, you know, I don't know, Molly Hatchet once said that they were the first band to combine, you know, southern rock and heavy metal, and I think Blackfoot fit in that same kind of category where they're kind of sitting in the middle. You know, they've got that heavy metal grind, but they also have that southern rock appeal too. Just, yeah, great stuff. Ricky Medlock on vocals. Ricky Medlock is just awesome. He's just such a huge personality on stage. I've seen him several times with Leonard Skinner. Anyhow, Blackfoot, Highway Song Live. And let's see, we got Nazz, Snazz. And I'm sorry, I got so much glare tonight. Okay, sorry about that. A little too much glare on the album, so I adjusted the lights a little bit. It's a little darker in here, but I'd rather have it a little darker and have less glare so you can actually see the record covers. But anyhow, this is Nazz, Snazz. And yeah, this live album was released in 1981. You know, Nazareth were kind of an odd band in that, you know, they released a really, really heavy album, and then the next album would be really like lightweight. Not that it was bad, it just didn't have the same heaviness as the album before it. Like Hair of the Dog, heavy record. And then the very next one that followed up, kind of lightweight, a lot of acoustic stuff going on, you know. So they never like were a super heavy band, you know, one record after the other. And Snazz came in '82, I believe, and they were kind of in a downward, kind of a more mellow time at that time. And this album definitely reflects that. I kind of wish they would have recorded a live album, you know, 77, 78, because that would have been a heavier album. It would have taken those classic early Nazareth records and songs and given them huevos, you know, kind of like the, you know, Thin Lizzy Live and Dangerous. They took those songs and they just supercharged them. And unfortunately, though I really like this record, it just doesn't capture the heaviness that I would have liked to have heard from Nazareth. But still, a classic record. This particular one is I believe this is the American pressing. Yeah, on A&M Records, and it is a single record. I kept the shrink wrap on this one because it's got the hype sticker on it and stuff, but it also came with a poster, which is kind of weird because it's not really a poster. I guess it is a poster, but what it is the same as the UK pressing, which I also have here. The UK pressing was a gatefold, and it's on NEMS Records. But you can see the gatefold is the same as the poster that's in the American version. So, the picture sleeves with the live shots of the band. And there's some more shots of that. The NEMS record label. Yeah. The other difference between the American and the UK pressing is, for some reason and I'll show you the difference here. The Nazareth logo is a little different. So, I mean, not a big deal, just something to notice. So yeah, Nazareth Snazz, 1981. So also, 1980, one of my favorite bands, Angel, Live Without a Net. And much like the Nazareth record, if they had recorded a record around 77, 78, I have a feeling it would have been much heavier than this 1980 record, where they were kind of on a more, I don't know, it's just a little, something happened in the 80s where some of these heavy bands from the 70s, they just were mellowing out a little bit, or I don't know what they were trying to do, but in any case, if they would have recorded this album a few years earlier, I think it would have been a little heavier. Still a great record from a classic American pop band. I absolutely love this record. Frank Domino sounds fantastic. Always loved his signature vocals, and of course, you know, Greg DeFria and Punky Meadows tag team with keyboards and guitars. It's just a classic record. Angel, 1980. Next album is Thin Lizzy, and I showed Live and Dangerous in my last video. This time I'm going to show BBC Live. And this is basically was one of the last shows that Thin Lizzy performed, and they did release that Live Life album at this, you know, on that same tour. But what I like about this one as opposed to that one is, first of all, this really is 100% live. There's no fixing, there's no overdubbing. It's just raw live, and it's heavy. Whereas the Live Life album, which I really do love too, it's a little more processed, a little more studio processed, glossy, you know. They kind of robbed the band of some of the heaviness that Live Dangerous had. But yeah, this album is just fantastic. I don't know if it's been released on vinyl or not. I don't have it on vinyl, I have it on CD, although I do have several BBC records from Thin Lizzy on vinyl. Yeah, great set list too. Features a lot of stuff from Thunder and Lightning, as well as, you know, their whole back catalog. So, Thin Lizzy, BBC Live. Then we got Mortification, Live Planetarium. Live Planetarium. So, yeah, Mortification, Australian import. Early Mortification was just pure death thrash metal. By this point, they were still death thrash metal. This would have been about 1993. This was recorded at Easterfest, I believe it was called, in Australia, or maybe it was Black Stump Festival. That's what it was. It was a Black Stump Festival in front of just a roaring crowd. Great set. Includes a cover of Bloodgood's Black Snake, which is a great song in its own right. But I think Mortification kind of botched the guitar solo in it a little bit. Most people don't seem to care or notice it, but that's the only minor flaw I find in this CD that I otherwise love. It includes songs from their first 3 albums, as well as I believe there was one song that they ended up Time Crusaders, which was a new song that was on here that had never been released before. They did record a studio version that was like a demo version that I also have, but it was never released on one of their albums. And then Symbiosis, which ended up being a song that was recorded for their next album, Blood World. So yeah, Mortification, Live Planetarium, classic live record. Going from death metal to 70s prog, Genesis Live. This is, I don't know, it's hard to pick my favorite Genesis live album. I love Genesis, you know, whether it be 3 Sides Live, Seconds Out, you know, any of their live albums are very good, but there's something about this one. It's only a single disc, but it captures that really early 70s Genesis, when Peter Gabriel, he was just a freak, and that was awesome. You know, his in between song banter is as entertaining as the music is at points, and he was wearing all those freaky costumes, and as you can see here, he's got one of them on the front cover. Here's another one on the back cover, right in the middle there. Peter Gabriel. Yeah, and I just really like this album. Can't say it's my favorite of the Genesis. Be hard to, like I said, hard to pick one, but it's just a classic live album from a classic 70s prog band. Let's see what else we got here. Jimi Hendrix. Tried to pick one live album. He's got so many great live albums, and I had a hard time picking which one was my favorite. So if I do a part 3 to this live series, I'll probably include some more Jimi Hendrix, because I actually think that Hendrix live is where he's best. I mean, his studio stuff is awesome, but I really like his live stuff. And so I went with, for this video, in concert, the Jimi Hendrix concerts. And I always loved the cover art to this one. I've had this one since I was a kid. It's a collection of live material from different places, but there's just some fantastic material on here. Little Wing, Voodoo Child, Hey Joe, Wild Thing. I love the version of Wild Thing on here. This is actually a gatefold too. I guess I could show the gatefold. This album was actually released in 1982, I believe. So there's the gatefold there. Back cover with that classic shot of Hendrix burning his guitar. So yeah, Jimi Hendrix, the Jimi Hendrix concerts. Good sound quality too. I've heard people complain about it. I don't know. I crank it on my stereo and it sounds good to me. So Hendrix live. Any Hendrix live is good live. Good Hendrix to me. This is one that I will be showing again soon. But Cheap Trick at Budokan. I almost said the wrong name. It's only a single disc and it only includes certain songs from that fantastic concert they did in Japan. But I really like it just the way it is. They have released newer versions of this with the full concert, and I have those. And I think in the future I'm going to show the Cheap Trick in Budokan box set, which I also have. And I do enjoy that, but there's something about this. The set look is just perfect the way it is. And it could just be nostalgia because I've heard it a million times over in just this format, and you know, it's hard to overcome nostalgia. So this single disc, but it came in a gatefold, and it also came with a booklet, and I'm sure everybody's seen this booklet before. What I like about this album is kind of like I said with the Thin Lizzy Live and Dangerous earlier. It just made the band, I don't want to say heavier, it just gave them more of an edge. It was more raw, you know, more biting. Gave them muscle, you know. It was just, it was Cheap Trick on, you know. And it's funny. I love the album that followed it, Dream Police, but it didn't do as well as it might have. I kind of wonder if Dream Police would have been less polished and had that more of that grind like they had on the very hugely popular at Budokan, if it would have done better. Woulda, coulda, who knows? Doesn't really matter. All I know is Budokan is a fantastic live album. It's a classic. Most people probably already have it, so I'll just shut up now and move on to the next one. Black Sabbath. Okay, another one where I was having, okay, what album am I going to show? There's so many great live albums from Sabbath, so many great live bootlegs from Sabbath. I went with Live at Hammersmith. And this one, Ronnie James Dio. Hard for me to say if I like Dio era better than Ozzy era. I like them both probably equally. Just depends what I'm in the mood for, you know. And this is a fantastic set. This is a numbered edition. This one happens to be 72 of 3000, and it is a trifold 3-record set. Contains the entire show. Once again, there's no overdubs to fix the rubs. There's no, you know. I mean, when they were recording the official live album during the Ozzy era, during the Dio era, you know, they were fighting over vocals not loud enough, guitars not loud, whatever. This is just live. This is just the way it should be. I actually think this is a better set than their official live released album. And I'm pretty sure this is a fairly, it's still, you know, available. I know the CD sold out before it was even officially put out, because I actually had pre-ordered a copy from Rhino. Was it Rhino Handmade, I believe it was, and by the time it came out they were sold out, and I do still have that numbered, I think it was 5,000 copies, and I have that numbered CD as well as this record. And we might as well show the it's 180 gram vinyl. It's thick vinyl. You can see the custom labels. So yeah, classic Black Sabbath album. Ronnie James Dio, Geezer Butler, Tony Iommi, you know, who is the riff master in my opinion, the godfathers of heavy metal and hard rock. Love them. So yeah, well worth picking up if you can find a copy. But like I said, I just like it better than Live Evil. So Live Evil is awesome too. I mean, and it's got a fantastic cover art on it. But if I had to pick between the two, I'd go with Hammersmith Odeon. And that's what I'm going to show today. Cal Jam 2. Another one of those records that I've just had since I was a little kid. And love it to this day. It's got some of my favorite bands on it. Gatefold record, double album set. But you got Frank Marino, Aerosmith, and Ted Nugent, and Hart, Dave Mason, Santana. I mean, this is just all, you know, some of the biggest bands of the 70s, you know. Yeah. So Dave, the Vinyl Vault. Congratulations on your 500 million subs. I love you, man. You're just you've become part of my life. I watch your videos regularly. I look forward to them, and yeah, that's it. I just can't think of anything else I got to say about that. So I guess I'm gonna end it here. God bless. Stay strong.